ChatGPT has officially arrived. Oh my god. Yeah. Here. And it's a massive leap forward for ChatGPT users. Sam Altman even compares the jump from GPT-4 to 5 to upgrading from a pixelated screen to a Retina display. In practical terms, he says, using GPT-5 really feels like talking to a PhD level expert on any topic. And this guide will break down everything that's new in GPT-5, from its unified model design to new superpowers like giant memory, advanced coding, and more. And by the end, you'll know exactly how to make the most of its new features, so let's dive in. One of the first things you'll notice is that ChatGPT now has just one GPT-5 model option. No more guessing between GPT-4, 4.0, 03 Pro, or other models. GPT-5 unifies all those into a single model, so the confusing model picker menu is gone. Why is this a big deal? Previously, users had to manually switch models for different tasks. For example, a reasoning model for step-by-step logic versus a creative model for writing. Now, GPT-5's main brain automatically does it all. Behind the scenes, OpenAI built a smart router that decides when GPT-5 should think harder using chain-of-thought reasoning. Just open ChatGPT and start a new chat. There's no drop-down to toggle models anymore. For example, I typed a question, how can I improve customer engagement on my website? GPT-5 gave a quick, structured answer. If I ask a follow-up question like, can you analyze this data for me? The same model seamlessly handles it, possibly invoking its reasoning mode behind the scenes. If you need a quick and simple answer in reasoning mode, you can choose it anytime by clicking the pop-up. No manual switching needed, one model to rule them all. GPT-5 also dramatically expands the amount of information. All GPT-5 models can accept a maximum of 272,000 input tokens and emit a max of 128,000 reasoning and output tokens, for a total context length 400,000 tokens. To put that in perspective, it is roughly 200,000 words, or about a 700-page book. You can drop entire documents, lengthy reports, or code bases into ChatGPT-5, and it can read all of it without losing track. It's like having a photographic memory for text. To see the context power, I pasted a 100-page PDF worth of text. Yes, I literally dumped a huge text document into ChatGPT with GPT-5. I then asked, summarize the key recommendations from this report and give me an action plan. Astonishingly, GPT-5 processed it all and provided a detailed summary with an action plan referencing points from throughout the document. No, sorry, that's too long errors. It handled approximately 100 pages in one go, where older models would have choked. Additionally, GPT-5 is getting smarter about persistent personal memory. In other words, it won't forget those details every new chat unless you wanted to. You'll have the ability to mute that cross-chat memory for privacy when needed. For the memory aspect, I tried telling GPT-5 early in a chat, my dog's name is Buddy and my company launched in 2020. Many messages later, I asked, remind me who Buddy is. GPT-5 correctly answered, Buddy is your dog, a small example of it retaining details. With GPT-5, ChatGPT feels more aware of context and details over long stretches. Just remember, if you prefer it not carry info between chats, you can adjust those settings. GPT-5 comes with built-in web browsing capabilities that are on by default. Unlike older ChatGPT, which had a separate browse mode, GPT-5 will automatically pull in fresh info from the web when the question needs it. You no longer have to append use the web to your prompt or flip any toggles. GPT-5 just knows when to search. For example, if you ask about today's news or recent event, we'll connect to the internet, find the info, and give you an answer with sources. GPT-5 can search the web on the fly and even cite sources for factual answers. In this example, it looked up information on statin medications and provided a list of follow-up questions, complete with references from reputable sources in the answer. Another cool improvement, when GPT-5 cites info, it often gives you a clickable reference or a brief preview, as shown in the statin answer screenshot above. This helps you trust but verify. You can check the source of the AI's information easily. I tried asking GPT-5, what's the latest on the Mars rover mission? Immediately, GPT-5 responded with something like, searching for the latest updates on Perseverance rover. After a few seconds, it answered with the rover's current status, citing a NASA update from this week. The answer had a little reference link to the NASA article. I didn't have to prompt it to do that, it knew to search. Next, I asked a question about stock market trends as of today. Again, GPT-5 fetched the real-time info and summarized the market movement, quoting an example source. I know all these new GPT-5 capabilities sound exciting, but, a bit overwhelming. AI headlines scream layoffs and automation eats jobs. Meanwhile, you're drowning in tabs, tutorials, and tool of the week hype. Whether you freelance, clock in 9 to 5, or build a business, the real pain is falling behind while others ship faster with AI. You want more sales, more clients, smaller workload, but not another stack of courses. That's exactly why we built AI Master Pro, 3 universal tracks that turn you into an AI-powered version of yourself. One 99% ready system with plug-and-play prompts and workflows. The only missing piece is your perspective. It's the same framework I used to go from a cameraman to media entrepreneur with an AI-run video business that scripts, edits, and sells for me. And now this is your chance to start landing clients faster, ship deliverables in hours, and scale without extra hires. Watch a complete free lesson today, hit the link, and start using AI instead of worrying about it. GPT-5 isn't just a text genius, it's pushing further into multimodal capabilities. Multimodal means it can handle multiple types of inputs, outputs, text, images, audio, and more. GPT-4 already introduced image understanding, and GPT-4's O version could generate images. GPT-5 takes this to the next level by combining all these skills in one model. What's new on the image front? For one, image generation got a solid upgrade. GPT-5 can create images more reliably with cleaner text rendering and images, better scene composition, and even handling multi-language text and images. Some of the quirks that tripped up GPT-4's image generator, like jumbled text and signs or odd framing, have been improved. So when you ask GPT-5 to make an image, for example, generate a poster for my event or create a logo with my company name, you'll likely see sharper results with correct lettering and layout. It's not perfect art every time, but it's noticeably better and can even render legible text in the image in various languages, something older models struggled with. On the image understanding side, GPT-5 is more accurate and context-aware. You can upload a photo or diagram, and GPT-5 can discuss it intelligently. It even catches details or inconsistencies. For instance, I showed GPT-5 a picture of a plant and asked why my snake plant looks yellow. GPT-5 correctly noted the picture was actually a cactus, not a snake plant, and then proceeded to give advice on snake plants turning yellow. That kind of nuance, recognizing the wrong plant in the photo, shows how much better it is at vision tasks. It's not just images. GPT-5 is gearing up to handle audio and even video. While at launch you might not yet generate a full video inside ChatGPT, the architecture is late for it. OpenAI hints that GPT-5 will have full support for videos and richer audio handling, unifying all media types in one AI. This could mean future updates where you can input a video clip for analysis, or GPT-5 might help edit, generate video content. So expect multimodal expansions, perhaps voice notes to ChatGPT, video summaries, or AI-generated short videos down the road, all under the GPT-5 umbrella. For now, practical uses include uploading images of charts or tables for analysis. GPT-5 is better at parsing data tables too. Using the microphone input on the ChatGPT mobile app for voice conversations, which GPT-5 handles with its personalities, as we'll see.
Absolutely. Let's roll with a snappy lasagna recipe that feels like you're talking to a friend.
And generating images within conversations without needing special plugins. I gave a GPT-5 an image, a photo of a hand-drawn business model sketch, and I asked, can you interpret this diagram and suggest improvements? GPT-5 analyzed the image and returned a breakdown of the sketch's elements, boxes, arrows, notes, and actually provided constructive suggestions. It said things like, it looks like your user acquisition flow is drawn here. One improvement could be to clarify this section. This shows off the improved vision to text capability. Next, I tried an audio experiment using the mobile app. I spoke a question, explained quantum computing in simple terms. GPT-5 not only transcribed my speech accurately, but answered in a clear, simplified manner.
In other words, while your normal computer is stuck doing things one by one, a quantum computer can juggle lots of possibilities all at once. It's like having a super flexible cheat code for certain types of problems.
It felt like a natural conversation, especially since I have the listener persona on. More on persona soon, which made it respond in a patient, supportive tone. These multimodal interactions make ChatGPT feel less like a text box and more like a versatile assistant you can talk to and show things to. ChatGPT with O3 was already a coder's best friend, but GPT-5 is on a whole new level when it comes to coding. Sam Altman flat out calls GPT-5 the best model in the world at coding. It's faster, faster, more capable, and writes cleaner code with fewer hints. In OpenAI's testing, GPT-5 outperformed all previous models on tough coding benchmarks. It's not just about code accuracy, it's also about what Altman describes as software on demand. Basically, you can now describe an app or program you want, and GPT-5 can generate a working version of it from scratch. During a demo for reporters, OpenAI showed GPT-5 build a complete French language learning web app with an interactive game from a single paragraph prompt. The AI produced hundreds of lines of code, HTML, JavaScript, CSS, etc., assembled them, and the result was a functional website.
Whoa.
Oh, nice. I really
Voila.
All in one go in just a couple of minutes. That's the power of GPT-5's coding abilities. It doesn't just write a snippet, it can architect an entire small application with minimal guidance, and importantly, it's doing it with fewer bugs. Observers noted the app ran on first try with very few errors, whereas earlier models often needed a few rounds of debugging. If you are into coding, here are some highlights of GPT-5's upgrades. Better understanding of instructions. It follows detailed requirements more faithfully. You can specify a certain architecture or library, and GPT-5 will use it. Longer code handling. Thanks to that large context, GPT-5 can keep track of big code base, can read multiple files or a long code file and reason about it as a whole. Improved debugging or explaining. GPT-5 is more effective at finding bugs in code and suggesting fixes. It's also great at explaining code, helpful for code review or learning. Tool use can utilize the advanced code interpreter, now called advanced data analysis in ChatGPT, more effectively for running code, meaning can actually execute and test the programs it writes when in that mode. Agentic actions in coding. It not only writes code, but if you allow it, GPT-5 can run a sequence of tool calls, like calling an API, fetching documentation, etc., to complete code and task. It's more autonomous in figuring out how to get the job done, not just writing code blindly. I decided to put GPT-5 to the test by asking it to create a simple web app. My prompt: create a simple to-do list web app with user login and dark mode. Use HTML, CSS, JS, and explain how to deploy it. GPT-5 took a few seconds thinking. Then boom, it produced the HTML, CSS, and JavaScript code for a to-do app. It even included comments explaining each part. It also gave instructions at the end. You can save these files and open the HTML in a browser. To add login, you'd normally need a server, but here's a simple simulation, etc. The code wasn't 100% production ready, security-wise, but it worked when I tried it. I simply copied the code into files and opened the page. There was no to-do app with a dark mode toggle. This was done with one prompt. Previously, I might have had to iterate with the AI or fix things manually, but GPT-5 handled it in one shot. For a debugging test, I gave GPT-5 a piece of code with an error. It identified the bug quickly and corrected the code, explaining the fix. The clarity of the explanation was better than before. It feels like you're working with a competent pair programmer who can articulate what's wrong and how to fix it. Altogether, GPT-5's coding prowess means faster development, quick prototyping, and even non-coders can create basic software by just describing what they need. It's like having a software engineer on call 24/7. That said, human oversight is still important. You want to review and test code for critical applications, but the time saved is immense. Ever wished ChatGPT had a bit more personality? With GPT-5, it does. OpenAI added personalities feature that lets you choose the style in which ChatGPT responds. There are 4 preset personas so far: Cynic, Robot, Listener, and Nerd. Each one tweaks the tone and attitude of GPT-5's answers. Cynic, snarky, critical, and sarcastic. This one will give you a bit of sass or dry humor in responses. Might be fun when you want a brutally honest opinion or just a laugh. Robot, efficient, blunt, and super logical. It strips out the fluff and gets straight to the point. Almost like Spock from Star Trek. No nonsense. Listener, thoughtful, supportive, and friendly. It's empathetic and patient, great for advice or more personal questions where you want a considerate tone. Nerd, enthusiastic and detail-oriented. This persona loves deep dives and may infuse some goofy, excited energy about technical details or trivia. Think of it as your geeky friend who's excited about everything. By default, if you choose nothing, GPT-5 has a balanced, neutral but helpful tone, the default personality. But if you want to spice things up or tailor the assistant's style to the context, say using Cynic for a tongue-in-cheek take or Listener for counseling, you can. Users can select these in settings, and it's easy to switch back if you don't like one. The personalities are opt-in and adjustable anytime, so you won't get sarcasm unless you explicitly choose it. I decided to try the different personalities by asking the same question in 4 modes. And the question, give me tips on improving my public speaking. In default normal mode, GPT-5 gave a very balanced answer. Organized tips about practice, knowing your audience, using body language, etc. in a professional tone. I switched to Cynic and asked again. This time the answer started with, record yourself, then survive the cringe, with a witty, somewhat sarcastic flavor. It still offered tips, but with tongue-in-cheek comments like, slow down before you accidentally rap. Next, robot persona. The reply was succinct and blunt. Know your material well, record, and watch yourself. Use simple words. It felt like bullet points from a hyper-efficient AI, which is actually useful if you want just the facts. Finally, listener persona. The tone here was very encouraging. If you want, I can give you a short daily drill that will build public speaking confidence fast. It was supportive and even used a bit of personal touch and style. There's also a fun cosmetic touch. You can change the chat theme color for each conversation. It's a minor thing, but it helps visually organize or just personalize your chats. Maybe red for urgent work queries, green for personal learning, etc. It's nice to see OpenAI making the interface more user-friendly and customizable. Another transformative upgrade with GPT-5 is how it can act more like a true personal assistant, thanks to new integrations with external apps and smoother agent abilities. The first wave of this is integration with Google services, starting with Gmail, Google Calendar, and Contacts. If you're a ChatGPT Pro user, you can now link these accounts and GPT-5 will automatically use them when relevant. What does this mean in practice? Ask, do I have any meetings Friday? And it will look at your calendar and answer. Say, draft an email to my client thanking them for the meeting, and it will compose a message, maybe even pull in details from that meeting's notes if available. Beyond Google Apps, the architecture suggests more connectors will come, perhaps Microsoft 365, Trello, Slack, or other productivity tools, so GPT-5 could become a hub that ties all your info together. For now, AI automations for business work in a bit different way, and that's why we broke down the basics step by step in our latest AI Master Pro course, so don't forget to check it out. ChatGPT is moving in the direction of being an AI agent that doesn't just chat, but takes actions to help you get stuff done. With GPT-5, it's much better at actually completing each step and letting you know what it's doing. Can use built-in tools like browsing, code execution, calculators in sequence without fumbling. For example, I gave GPT-5 a task. Find the latest population of Canada, put it into a bar chart comparing it to the US population, and email me the chart. Ambitious, right? Here's what happened. GPT-5 searched the web for latest population figures. It cited World Bank data it found. It then wrote some Python code using the advanced data analysis tool to create a bar chart of Canada versus USA populations. It actually executed the code, generated a chart image, and showed it to me in the chat. Then it drafted an email, subject, population chart, body text describing the chart, and mentioned it would send the chart PNG file. Since I hadn't Gmail linked, it asked for confirmation like, to email it to you, I need to open your email service and attach the chart. This was mind-blowing. I basically gave one command that spanned web research, coding, and email, and GPT-5 orchestrated it all. It truly felt like a personal assistant who knew how to use the computer on my behalf. GPT-5 supports scheduled tasks in a smoother way instead of requiring a special schedule plugin or writing cron expressions. You can tell GPT-5 something like, remind me in 2 days to follow up with John. And if it's integrated with your calendar or reminder system, it will set that up. The idea in plain English commands like every Monday at 9, summarize my new emails are becoming feasible. I connected my Google account in ChatGPT. Next, I said, schedule a lunch meeting with Bob sometime next week. GPT-5 checked my calendar availability and Bob's email from contacts. Then it proposed, how about Wednesday at 12:30 p.m.? I'll send an invite to Bob. I said, go ahead, and it sent a calendar invite through my Google Calendar. Bob actually got the invite email. I was floored. For email drafting, I tried draft an email to our project manager, thanking her for the successful product launch, and mentioned we achieved a 20% increase in signups. Instantly, GPT-5 wrote a nice 3-paragraph email with a positive tone and the key details. It even put a subject line, "Great work on the product launch," and signed my name at the end. All I had to do was skim and hit send. This kind of integration saves so much time for routine tasks and demonstrates GPT-5's potential as an executive assistant. While these features are initially for higher tier users, you can expect them to trickle out wider as they prove safe and reliable. Always remember, you stay in control. GPT-5 will usually confirm actions like sending an email or booking something before finalizing. Is GPT-5 perfect? Not at all. It's not the mythical AGI yet, as Altman himself notes. It doesn't learn by itself on the fly, it can still make mistakes or require human guidance, but it's a significant step forward. If you've been using ChatGPT for a while, GPT-5 will feel like a supercharged, familiar friend. You don't have to radically change how you prompt or interact. Good prompting practices still apply, but everything just works better and with less friction. And if you're new to ChatGPT, there's never been a better time to start, since the model is smarter and more user-friendly than ever. We are in the early days of the GPT-5 era, and no doubt OpenAI and the community will continue discovering new tricks and use cases. As GPT-5 becomes integrated into more tools and platforms, expect the AI to quietly weave itself into many apps you use, from Office suites to coding environments, all offering this level of intelligence on tap. For us, the key takeaway is leverage these new features to stay ahead. And remember, the human element remains crucial. Pairing your domain knowledge and strategic thinking with GPT-5's capabilities is the winning formula. That's how you build innovative solutions and not just good sounding answers. So go ahead, explore GPT-5 in your ChatGPT interface, try out the demos we discussed, experiment with your own prompts, and see how this PhD level AI can help you achieve your goals. Don't forget about the free lesson on AI Master Pro down below. Happy exploring and welcome to the GPT-5 generation.